Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to Jason is a Social Scientist by Mouth Daily, pill number 1008. Alright. Right now, I am sitting in a sauna, actually the door to the sauna is right here. This is sort of like the prep area, I guess. It says up there I'm supposed to be naked. Or I could wear a swimsuit too, it said. It's like 3 in the morning. I figured I'd come in here to do the show because I could speak loudly without waking anybody up. We're staying at a bed and breakfast up here near the Boundary Waters in Minnesota. We're in Ely, Minnesota. I thought it was Eli. Hey, DJ X Brown. Hey, Mama G. I forget who else was there. Hello, everyone. So yeah, we're pronouncing it Eli, but it's Ely, E-L-Y. Ely, Minnesota. How is everyone? Melanie Ann Davis, hello. Sarah Wild. I am in Ely, Minnesota at a bed and breakfast. For real, Will Ferrell. Hello, everyone. Cher Williamson, Sarah Wild. Yeah, we're Ely, Minnesota. We're at a bed and breakfast. They have a sauna here, and it's like 3 in the morning, and I don't want to be like, whatchamacallit, I don't want to be like, loud in the bed and breakfast. This is actually the sauna. I'll give you guys a little tour. It's like a legit sauna too, like, you can pour water on the rocks. It's not one of those. Thanks, Melinda. Hey, Cher. Yeah, we've been having a good time, I think. We had a campfire tonight, made some s'mores. I slept most of the day because I drove all night. We got here at 6 in the morning. So I'll show you guys the sauna. Open up this door in here. It's pretty warm in here. I thought it'd go psst, it didn't. I thought it'd go psst, it didn't. No, we're just on vacation right now. Not in a room. Saunas would get me sick. Hey, Shiana. Hello. Welcome back. Hey, Kimberly Austin. Yeah, it seemed like everybody's saying they lost their top fan badge. I don't know, did they get rid of them altogether maybe? I don't know. Although I did know who had one yesterday. Somebody had one yesterday. Oh, stop, Shauna. Thank you. This Chala, hello. Hatmaker's got hers back. See, there's some. I don't know. It's weird. Cavino's got his badge. I don't know what that's about. Maybe because I was gone for so long, people didn't get their badge just because I wasn't around. I'm sorry, Kimberly. We keep coming back. Maybe you'll get it back. See, people are earning theirs back somehow. Shy Anna, thank you for correcting me. I hope I got it right in your shout out. Well, the Yuma Weekly. Hey, Billy Allen. Oh, not too bad. I couldn't get any dabs before I left. So I'm so sorry, Kimberly. Oh, I love you too, Joseph. Cher just got her badge. Nice. See, it was because I was off for 8 days. I cost everybody their badge because I got sick. And I had to go to the hospital. I did get it. Good. Hatmakers all moved. I'm glad that the CBD is helping, Cheyenne. I've never tried CBD. The psychiatrist in the hospital, he didn't directly recommend it, but he said that it shows evidence it helps people. We're spending a few days here, and we're gonna, I think on our way home we might try to hit the Mall of America. No, James, I'm in a sauna here in Ely, Minnesota. We were calling it Eli, Minnesota, but it's not. It's Ely. It's spelled Ely. Went to a farmer's market today. They're giving out free syrup samples. I tried birch syrup instead of maple syrup. It's like 25% birch syrup. Is gross. It's gross. That's cool, Joseph. Yeah, I don't know how all that works. But then we got some wild blueberry syrup. That was pretty good. What else? I don't know. The boys, I think, went fishing today. Sarah, hello. And we had a campfire. Hey, Jack. Hello. Yeah, farmers markets are fun, Sarah. Addicted to syrup, eh? Laura said she's just gonna drink the blueberry syrup. One kind of crappy thing here at the bed and breakfast, we only have one bed, one king size bed. Yeah, they made the blueberry syrup. He said that he just made it last week with fresh blueberries. Is this no? It's this is just like a sauna here at the bed and breakfast. Like it's a separate building, and I thought since everybody, I don't want to do it in the main building and wake everyone up. I could speak loudly here. Yeah, there's a lot of great places to visit in the United States. There sure are. My favorite though is the Pacific Northwest. I want to try that syrup on something, Brittany, for sure. I wasn't too impressed with the breakfast this morning, but at the bed and breakfast here. But we'll cut them some slack because power went out. Breakfast is supposed to serve at 8:30, and the power went out at 7:30 a.m. It was a lightning strike, and power went out for 2 hours. Yeah, I can do that for real. Maybe I'll give you guys a tour tomorrow. I'll start a separate show or something and give you guys a tour. Tomorrow we're going to a bear and wolf reserve or something like that. I don't know. We'll see some wolves and some bears. They have some cubs, I guess. Or pups, I guess. I don't know what you call it. Bears have cubs, right? I don't know. Do they? I have no idea. We're going to see some baby wolves. The kids are going to miss their first day of school back, I think. They might even miss their second day. They're supposed to start on Friday. We're supposed to, but we definitely won't be home Friday. But I think we might they might miss Monday too. Thanks, DJX Brown. We could go smoke a bowl out by the fire's probably dead, but it's all dark out there. There's probably nowhere to. Although I have a light on the thing. Yeah, we could go out there and smoke. Oh, thanks, Joseph. Oh, you guys never irritate my stress or aggravate it. You guys help me out. Thanks, Will. Thank you. I don't know, I feel like I've been vaguely nauseous. I'm always vaguely nauseous. I've been trying to stay on it with Compazine and Zofran. I'm okay, Melinda. Nothing's changed really. What happened last time, Sarah? I don't remember. It was probably bad. No, I'm curious. What happened, Sarah? Oh, thank you, Cher. What did happen? I'm so curious. Yeah, I didn't think I didn't, well, I did cry a little bit today, but I didn't sob today. I was just kind of like choked up on tears a little bit, like, or, I just think too much, and you're driving along, and I was, I'm like, okay, just breathe, Jason. Oh, that sounds like that could have happened it's happened a couple of times, Sarah. One time I lost my keys because I was tripping on it when I was camping, and I decided to take a shower, and on the way I was carrying my pants back, and they were in my pocket, and I don't know. Thank you, Cheyenne. I'm sorry you've been having a hard time too. Uh, and I remember that same trip. I think I got really nervous. I don't think I got that close to the edge, but there's like a huge cliff, and I just felt really teeter tottery, and I'm like, it was totally pitch black. I gotta move away from that cliff. Dang it to heck. I felt really disoriented. I was suddenly really scared by the cliff. Right? The next day, I was walking back. I walked to the campsite, or walked back to the shower, and I was scouring for the keys, uh, and couldn't find them, and as we were walking back to our campsite, this dog ran up to us, and the owners like walked down, and as we were petting the dog, and they're like, "You didn't happen to lose any keys last night, did you? Or lose any keys?" And I don't know if they wouldn't have known when I lost them, but anyway, yeah, good memory, Sarah. We could go try that again. Same thing would probably happen. There's coals out there that I probably couldn't get going. Although I do have a lighter this time. I love you too, Teresita. Elizabeth, I am in Ely, Minnesota, at a bed and breakfast. I was, Teresita. I was. Hey, John Joseph Brandt. I tend to go live for most of my trips. It's all about embracing stigma, right? I love you too, John Joseph Brandt. I think it's important. Probably a little crazy, but it's important too. Yeah, there's symptoms are minimal. Like there's like Cheyenne, I still have HIV. That doesn't go away. The cure, like the pill keeps it undetectable, but if you stop taking the pill, it comes back. And as far as symptoms of HIV, like everybody's different, but there is some it's called persistent immune dysfunction, like, and the immune system doesn't work as well as it did before you have HIV, and I think they're starting to learn now why that's the case. Like there's more. Your immune system isn't just one type of cell. There's like many types of immune cells that work to fight infections in your body, and HIV, like the the immune cells that it's most known for attacking and destroying, the CD4 cells, your body makes more, always is making these CD4 cells to fight infection, and HIV is always reproducing and attacking those cells, but it takes 10 years or so for your body to get tired of making those CD4 cells, and the virus eventually wins. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but so they've known for a long time about that particular way HIV affects the immune system, but they're learning more how HIV affects the immune system in other ways too. There's other types of cells, innate lymphoid cells that work similar to the CD4 cells, but they don't, anyway. Well, the CD4 cells need helper cells, other cells that identify infections and tell the CD4 cells which ones to kill, and the innate lymphoid cells don't need the helper cells. They're pre-programmed to fight. Anyway, the HIV, when you first get diagnosed, or when you first contract it, and not when you first get diagnosed, when you first contract it, it destroys all of those innate lymphoid cells, and they're completely eradicated, and within the first 3 weeks of infection, and once they're gone, they don't come back, and your body can still make and fight an infection without them. I don't know, I'm just rambling. I'm not making any sense. So you're welcome, Cheyenne. I'm glad I'm making some sense. And whatever. Those innate lymphoid cells, like I told you, they're pre-programmed to fight the most common types of infections. So they they fight things that people run into all the time, things like yeast and the herpes virus, and what else? Anything that's skin related, basically. And so people with HIV, because those innate lymphoid cells are gone, are more susceptible to herpes. They're more susceptible to what else did I say? I forget. But yeah, yeast, yeah. And yeah, so they're just nuisance symptoms, right? Things that I get yeast in the corners of my lips sometimes. I get yeast in my nose right here. It just gets, I can get a little cut in my skin. I don't, yeah. Love you too, Katie Anderson. I am in a sauna. Who asked that? Ron, yes, hello. Nancy Drew. I don't have a designated video. I probably should. Pill 1005, was it? It's not too bad. This is actually the waiting area outside the sauna. The sauna is right in this door right here. Somebody asked me, I don't have it on. This is 1008, but I think during 1005, I think it was 1005. So before this show, the first one that's 4 hours long. I think it's definitely after pill 1000, and it's the only 4 hour show between 1000 and now. I think it's 1005. Anyway, if you read through the comments, you'll see, I think somebody named Julie asked me I want to know about Jason. I told my whole life story. I can give you, so if you want to look there, I think that would be a good spot. I really went on and on about my whole story. But I can give you the abridged version real quick. You want to know how I contracted HIV? I always like to say I took a calculated risk, but it was just poorly calculated. And the last thing I learned about HIV when I was like in high school was that the riskiest form of sex was receptive anal sex. And so I always made guys wear condoms when they fucked me. You know, like when I started having sex with guys, I didn't do it until late in life. Around the age of 35, I decided to like come out of the closet and start exploring my my bisexuality. Oh. I was just reading an article about Sarah, you were asking about where the virus came from. I was reading an article about they think it like humans started contracted it from I'm gonna like this. I think it was I'm pretty sure like somewhere between the late 1800s and the early 1900s, it crossed species from. Well, the virus. I was reading another article. The virus has been evolving alongside mammals for hundreds of millions of years. Like it's a part of a family of viruses known as lentaviruses. I don't know, Sarah. I think I'd have to see some pretty legitimate sources to believe that there was weaponized ticks. Cheyenne, where were we? So receptive anal sex. I always make guys wear condoms, and but to me, in my mind, like the fact that receptive anal sex was the riskiest, that meant the other forms of sex were less risky. And so there's probably maybe 5 times or something like that. Or no, I didn't use a condom when I fucked a guy. And pretty sure it was one of those times. And good morning, Michelle. Yeah. And I didn't know, I know now that, certainly the type of sex has some effect on the risk, but really the most important risk factor is viral load. Yeah, I was unlucky, I really was. Thank you, Cheyenne. Hey, Eric Taylor. I'm surviving. Hey, Joe. The same concept. You're talking about the risk of sex, they took the same kind of risks, you mean? Hey, Nick. Thank you, Cheyenne. I'm trying to get better, so I feel strong to keep going. I'm gonna be doing some real intensive therapy starting probably in a week or so. I'll be doing intensive or partial hospitalization program. That's what it's called. So it's basically 6 hours of group therapy a day, and then you go home to sleep, and then and you do that Monday through Friday for 18 days. It's really similar to the programming you'd get inside of a psychiatric hospital. But like I said, you just go home to sleep. I am in Ely, Minnesota, Forest Clark, at a bed and breakfast called Blue Heron Lodge. Hey, Angel. I called you Angel. That's weird. I am in a sauna. I indeed am in a sauna. And then after the partial hospitalization, I've been talking with my therapist. I think there's a really good chance that I'll be going to do residential therapy. So you guys will have an extended. No, you guys will miss me for an extended period if that happens. I'll probably be gone for a month. To go do some like live-in treatment for, I don't know, for PTSD and depression and anxiety. Anish Jala. A poster on billboard. I don't know what that means. I like that, Mikey. When someone helps you and they're struggling too, that's not help. That's love. I like that. I don't know. My nausea is pretty persistent. Things that help other people like ginger and stuff, that doesn't help me. I need the strong stuff. Compazine really helps. Even Zofran doesn't help me that much. I'm in Ely, Minnesota, Michelle. At least I think that if I were to do the residential, I don't think I'd have access to my. I don't know if I would have access to my phone or not. We'd have to see. Laura and Mr. Owing, hello. Thanks, Nick. Oh, thank you, Katie. Do I think therapists diagnose people correctly? I think diagnoses aren't that important, I don't think, especially with a psychiatric treatment. It can be useful to put a handle on it, to put a name to it. But I don't know. I think the best therapists, I don't know, they just listen and non-judgmentally. It's the first time up here, John. It does kind of smell good in here. I think like a good therapist, especially like if like somebody said training in trauma, I think that's like if the people are working with traumatized individuals, I think some specific type of trauma training can be really useful. Oh, thank you, Nishchala. For a second, I thought, no, I don't want to do that. Hey, Jessica. It's weird. Get more viewers on this. People just must be wondering where the hell I am. Get more viewers in the sauna than I do on my own set. It's really, Joseph, it's really hard to find a good therapist, and I've had my share of shitty ones. I just got really, really lucky with this therapist and my nurse practitioner. Because some can be condescending, or they don't, or judgmental. Like, I've really run into that a lot. But, like, my story is pretty... let's see. I don't know what you call my story, but it's I don't know. Whatever. Oh my! I had a really good relationship with my mom, Dale. My dad and I didn't get along. he didn't like beat me or anything, but we weren't close. And no, but my dad, he was an alcoholic, I guess, and joined AA. He didn't drink that much really, but he was more of an asshole when he stopped drinking, quite frankly, than before. But him joining AA really helped our family, I would say, because my mom got into Al-Anon, and I don't know, it just gave her a voice, I guess. And then she went back to school, and she eventually got her master's in marriage and family therapy, and became the director of the Alcohol and Drug Treatment Center at the hospital in our hometown. And I don't know, she was a really cool lady. And I'm really lucky. I think as far as who I was raised by, I wouldn't change my childhood. My dad, I wish he would have been different in a lot of ways, but he did his best, and we were able to make peace with each other before he died. Anyway. But yeah, I wouldn't be the person. I always like to say that if you like me, if you like anything about me, then you would have loved my mom, because I'm just a cheap imitation of her. My mom was pretty cool, Katie. I miss her. I certainly miss her. She died in 2007, June of 2007. Good night, Nishchal. I love you. Sleep well. Sleep good. Which is right. Sleep good. Sleep well. I don't know. I'm sorry, Michelle. I don't have good memories of my dad drinking, actually. Some of the few times he was nice. Like, I remember one time we were at a bar and he gave me quarters to play video games. He never would have done that sober. Another time we were visiting my family in Iowa. On our way home, my dad got drunk my mom was pissed at him because he had like 3 martinis anyway, and on the way home from that bar, we stopped at a fireworks stand. He bought all these fireworks. My mom was pissed at him because he got drunk and bought all the fireworks. So the next day it was 4th of July, and he had a pounding headache for the hangover, and she made him take me to the fireworks display and then light fireworks off afterwards. I'm so sorry, Laura. That's a lot of loss in such a short period of time. Thanks, Joseph, and thanks, Dale. Eric says, I always had a favorite uncle and no idea why he was so fun until I got old enough to realize he came over. And there were 12 years in this thing. That's fun. Yeah, life's painful, isn't it, Cheyenne? Yeah, I still, Laura, I think, Laura says it's super strange without parents. I still, I've been in like a downward spiral for the past 10 years. Thank you, Dale. Dale says, I can't remember exactly. He said, I'm just trying to read comments for people watching later. I need to do that more often. Mikey says, you can feel when someone ain't being real with you. Energy never lies. I think that tends to be really true. Some, I would say there's probably exceptions to that because some people are just really good con artists, but I am in a sauna Tasha asked where I am. I'm in a sauna in Ely, Minnesota. Hey, Brooke May Manson. Well, welcome. Is this your first time watching ever? Sorry, Mama G. You got your son, though. I'm glad you got him. Oh, it's getting busy in here. Michelle says, I drank before Jason, early 20s and 30s. What made me stop was a major head-on collision. Oh, I just about died. Came back. Oh my God, I went through the windshield. That's so crazy. Glad you made it. Hey, Holly Davis. Jeanette, I'm honest. I miss my mom more than I miss my dad, but I miss them both though. Wow, that's probably true. Like I talk to you all, much more. We have a good thing going here, Mama G. I think we all get to see each other much more often than family gets to see each other usually, if they don't live together. Well, welcome, Brooke. Should I do a premise for her and for all these new people? Right now I'm on vacation. This is a road trip, but back at home I have a pretty cool set, if I don't say so myself. It's got I do like this forced perspective thing, so there's miniatures, but also in the distance, far away from the camera, there's large things that are the same. So there's a miniature TV and a big TV, and a miniature fireplace and a big fireplace, and a miniature sewing machine and a big sewing machine, and miniature Superman and big Superman, miniature Pokemon or Pikachu. Anyway, big Pikachu, and because the way I have it set up, you can't tell which one's the big one, which one's the small one. And anyway, so I have a pretty cool set. I am in Ely, Minnesota, and anyway, so I'll just do it at the beginning of every show, and then when somebody new comes in, Brooke, I have a keyboard, and I say their name into the built-in microphone on the keyboard, and I give people a shout out, and then I explain to them what the show is about, and I have this 5-minute spiel, and it seems out of context without my set though. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard not to dwell on the past, Holly. Anyway, I'm going to do the premise for Brooke. All right, so this is what I say when somebody asks what the show is about. Brooke, you might be wondering what the show is about. People often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication. Live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 1,008 pills, 1,008 shows, I've been doing this for almost 3 years straight. After 1,008 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me their most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. But a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. Ding dong bell, boy does she knell, hell. I mean, heck, the show has it all. I like to say that it is Cloud Atlas and that it incorporates at least 600 years of entertainment, with Edward R. Murrow's radio broadcasts on record and cylinders played on a 19th century Edison home phonograph, along with a nursery rhyme book from my childhood. Is Donna here? Along with the nursery rhyme book from my childhood, containing woodcut illustrations from the 15th century. It is, in a sense, also The Matrix, In a previous iteration of the show, I created something I call the Rainbow Tunnel, in which I harnessed the power of Grayskull and the Eye of Thundera, funneling them through a series of warped nacelles, creating a static warp bubble and a subsequent singularity, punching a hole through the fourth wall, across the multiverse, and into the source. The show now takes place in an echo chamber, created by me, that serves as a way station between our reality and the source. I don't expect lay people to fully understand, as this is advanced social science. Yeah, so the show's also like an old-timey variety show, Carol Burnett style, mixed with a merry melody of Looney Tunes and a measure of Mork and Mindy, a dash of Mr. Ed, and two doses of Alice in Wonderland, a helping of Hee Haw, heaps of Benny Hill, a hint of the Highlander, tons of the Twilight Zone, a tincture of Teen Wolf, an ounce of Oz. They called me Hippie Jesus in the psych hospital. An ounce of Oz, a cup of Creep Show and Castaway, a quart of Quantum Leap and a gallon of Gilligan's Island. It's a 4-hour show and a 4-hour tour. Piles of Pee-wee's Playhouse, a pinch of Peter Pan, a pound of Popeye. I am what I am, a whole block of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and a ration of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm just a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. Ha ha. Come up to the lab. See what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. Touch me. I want to be dirty. Thrill me. Chill me. Follow. Fill me. Creature of the night. An undone Benjamin Button, a corny ear of Dumbo, a college try of I Spy, a couple of raw strokes of Bob Ross. Oh, the couch is at home. A spoon full of Mary Poppins and the full Monty Python. Finally lumping Rick and Morty with a liter of I Love Lucy in the sky with diamonds and wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. You've got the show. Everything is out of place and out of time here, including and especially me. April will always be pregnant. Harambe will always be ready for her high fives. The first and the second coming will always be risen with the Obamas getting blowjobs from the Woodies. The Supermen and their boners will always be spinsters and sempstresses working the sweatshop. The twin towers will always stand with Lady Liberty. You will have their MTV. Pigs will fly. Disco and dance will reign. Like men did in the days of old, I write nightly the future history of anachronism for your future children and your elderly grandparents. May they enjoy it now and time immemorial. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, or pre-exposure prophylaxis. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. U equals you. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Woo! Tristan, you could still be eccentric someday. Trust me. I wasn't always like this. I really wasn't. I used to be like pretty white bread. Up until the age 35, like I was really boring. Donna's not here. Donna's like one of 2 people in the 3 years that are blocked. It takes a lot of trolling to get blocked, but it's not impossible. You have to really work at it, though. Like, really work at it. Most trolls don't have the what's the word I'm looking for? Wherewithal works, but that's not what the stamina. Somebody's probably just guessing that she was here. did. I lost it a long time ago. I'm not even looking for it anymore. Oh, different Donna. Thank you, Angie. I've always been the same person inside, but I don't know. Lots changed though. I don't know. It Cheyenne. I used to have my shit together. I really did. Oh, it's a bed and breakfast. I'm glad Cheyenne is having a good time. Well, thank you, Brooke. It's getting hot in here. It is. I'm at a bed and breakfast, and I didn't want to record in the main building and wake everyone up. Yeah, most trolls move on. And actually, most trolls, they don't move on. They, like, realize how cool the show is and become lifelong fans. And then a few of them move on, too. But some of my best fans start off as trolls, came here looking for couches. And I'm the troll whisperer. That's what I like to say. I'm the troll whisperer. I negotiated safe passage for all 3 Billy Goats Gruff. I saw a meme like that once. Talks to trolls, negotiates safe passage for all 3 Billy Goats Gruff. Billy Goat, whatever. They come for the couch or they stay for the cum. All right. Because my couch... The couch, somebody sent me a couch. It's like this big. It's pink or light red. I'd like to say it opens up, and it's like a jewelry box that's got a mirror inside of it, and it's covered with 10 of my cum stains. I use it as my my jizz rag whenever I pop one off on the show. So over 1,000 nights, there's been 10 stains made. Oh my goodness. So, like, if you tune in, you have a 1% chance that I might be masturbating at some point during the show. Oh. I'll answer to either, Cheyenne. Oh my goodness. No, it's completely fake. I made that up, Jenna. It's only funny because it's true. It's right. I am in a sauna, Teresa. I'm on a road trip in Ely, Minnesota. Thank you, Tasha. Good night, Nick. Good to see you. Oh, Jeanette. Oh, that sounds fun. It's been a while since I don't dance around in my underwear much anymore. Thanks, Jenna. Yeah, that was a long time ago, Cheyenne. That was a long time ago. I'm gonna guess that was probably around pill 300. And he came. Did I come? I don't remember. Oh, thank you, Cheyenne. Hey, Scott Hughes. Good night. I can't believe it. I can't believe how long this show's been going on. It's craziness. I've known you, some of you, for a really long time now. Cheese is good. I like cheese, Tristan. God, I'm feeling nauseous. I'm gonna end the show pretty soon. I'm gonna get sick pretty soon in here. Withdraw some cheese, right, Cheyenne? Like, I'm really proud of it. Every time I say a new show now, like, Pill 1008, just 1000 just has so much gravitas. That sounds good to me, Dale. Thank you, Jeanette. I'm sorry, Scott. I do, Mama G, although I get a little bit of sense of what some of you look like. That was about the same time as Cheyenne, I think, right? Like the blood paintings, that sounds about... I put that in the 300 pill range. Where do you live, Jenna? You know it, Cheyenne. You know it. No one ever offers to send me nudes. I would be happy to accept them. Now I am blushing. You've been watching for 365 pills, or you have your own show, Scott? Jenna is outside of DeKalb, Illinois. All right. I don't know exactly where that is. Like in relation to Chicago, where is that? Oh, Julia, one of my paintings. I forget which one. To bring out Cheyenne is funny. I was gonna make some joke like, is that what you nicknamed your vagina? No, that's terrible. Thank you, Joseph. That's so awesome, Scott. Northwest. All right. So closer to me than Chicago, then. Oh, you won, Julie. You won the pit. That's right. And you have it hanging above you, like you have like a live show you do, right? Is that right? What do you mean, Krista? What do you mean you remember my name? Thank you, Scott. I do my best. Levy, I love it. Oh, somebody else who won a painting like hung it up so you could see it in their live broadcast. Way up in northern Canada, huh? Brooke literally lives in the middle of nowhere. Oh, Crystal, I got you. I thought you remembered my name. I'm like, well, it's easy. It's right in the title of the page. Good night, Angel. Thank Thank you for stopping in. I should go out and smoke this bowl. Alright, Joseph. I don't think I'll be gone before you get back, but just in case, have a good night. Big hug for Angel. Hey, Tika. Tika says, hello, Jason. How you, buddy? Been thinking about you lately. Hope it's, I'm doing okay. I'm on a road trip right now. It's been a little iffy. Like, Laura and I have been sort of arguing during this trip. Like, whatever. It's been okay. We've had worse fights, trust me. But I've been irritated. Hello, Kate. How are things down under? I'll be in touch soon, Katie. I love you. Is it that simple, Cheyenne? I don't know if it's that simple. I don't know if I can say that when I'm so angry. It's so good. Whatever. My therapist doesn't think my relationship is good for me. Oh. Explain my journey. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Which part do you want to know? It's stressful, or I think vacations are stressful, always, most of the time. Let's see, so, long ago, blustery, blizzardy, I don't know, whatever. Never mind. I can't even talk tonight. I was born in 1979 in Bear, Wisconsin. And, what? That's the end. And then, fast forward, I took a vacation in Ely, Minnesota. The end. Hey, Catherine. Hugs right back at you. Thank you, Michelle. Not the whole life story. Where it's here. You want to know about the show? Do you want to know, or do you want to... What are the biggest things that made you into what you are today? Oh, my mom, I think I said this earlier, if you like anything about me, you would have loved my mom, because I'm just a cheap imitation of her. That's about it, Jenna, right? Jenna says he was beamed down from a spaceship and started doing lives. And so my mom, nursing school, my years as a caregiver, as CNA, and 13 years as a registered nurse, board certified in psychiatry, working on an inpatient psychiatric unit. So, I think that experience is, caring for people at their times of need. I think that was certainly part of what makes me who I am today. The death of my parents, really, the grief really, like that, started a long road of mental illness. And what? Yeah, so, I worked for 13 years in an inpatient psychiatric unit, but I've also had 6 of my own inpatient psychiatric hospitalizations. She really was great, Catherine. I was diagnosed with HIV in 2015, August of 2015, and the last time I tested negative for HIV was January of 2015, so somewhere in that 8 months I contracted the virus. And I had HIV for about a year before I came up with the concept of taking the pill live. And so I was taking it, like I had HIV for about a year, and what was I saying? And at first it was really easy to remember my pill. I wrote a post about this recently. Like in the beginning, it was really easy to remember my pill because that's all I could think about was HIV. It's just like that's all that was on my mind ever. Like it's like just like my life is over, and just all I could think about. But then more stressful things were happening. When I first contracted HIV, my wife and I, we separated for a year, and then after that year, like I moved back into the house, and that was a stressful time period too, and the stress of moving back into the house, like I found myself one morning. Usually I took my pill at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. something like that. I woke up at 6 a.m. to use the bathroom, and I realized I hadn't taken my pill the night before. I'm like, fuck, I can't believe I forgot my pill. It was around that time is when I started doing it. So, but it was right around that time I started doing the show, and it was also right around that time that I missed that dose. That somebody, I think it was on Facebook or something, told me how lucky I was to have HIV today, and because you just take a pill once a day, and it pissed me off because I didn't feel lucky. I felt like shit about it, and so I just thought to myself, well, it doesn't feel fucking easy to me. And that's where I came up with the idea. Okay, well, why don't I take my pill live in front of people and show them how easy it is, and use that as an opportunity to talk about the struggles of having HIV, and also to hopefully help fight the stigma of it, and also serves as a reminder, to help keep me accountable to take my medication. I'm sorry to both you and Michelle. Suicide is really, it's tragic. For all parties involved. As far as, no, I don't know who I contracted HIV from. Doesn't really matter, I guess, either, does it? I mean, it's not super hot in here, but I am too hot. It's probably 75 degrees in here. I'm okay answering questions. I'm okay. Hey, hey, Astasia, long time no see. No see. Thank you, Catherine. I'm perceiving Holly's questions as information seeking, and I'm willing to answer questions even if they're, like if somebody asks me questions that are pointed or like somehow seem judgmental or something like that. I'll still take the opportunity to answer questions, not for the benefit of the person asking, but more so for the benefit of others. But I would say Holly's questions felt sincere, I guess. Sometimes I would encourage, because I am a pretty open book about it, but I would encourage others to, have tact when, when talking into another person that has HIV, because not everybody wants to talk about, it's a really sensitive topic about like how you contract it, and some people, I think it can often seem like it's like a test, like when somebody asks you about your like how you contracted HIV, it's like, did you catch it in a sinful way, or did you catch it like was it your fault or not, that sort of thing, and I would encourage, I would just encourage people to be sensitive. Thank you, Catherine. And most of the time, it's really not your business. I think, in this context, I think it's not inappropriate to ask, but most contexts, I think it is pretty inappropriate to ask. I'm so sorry, Michelle. Good night, Brooke. Thank you, Michelle. Oh, you all helped me. It's like, I was about pill 100. I realized that like I accidentally stumbled into my purpose for living. You guys give me a reason to keep going. Thank you, Astasia. I don't feel very strong a lot of times. I feel really broken. Like, I don't know. You're welcome. You're welcome, Holly. My pleasure. And if you want a more detailed, I think it was pill 1005. Like I wrote it's a long show, but you can find it in the comments. Somebody named Julie asked me, I want to know more about Jason, and I went on and on and on and on, gave my life story. Yeah, Cheyenne, it's like, I don't know. That's I keep coming back to. Like, I don't know, I've just been avoiding, hiding in this like little fantasy world of my own creation, filled with toys and nonsense. And I just been like hiding in it for almost 3 years now. And before that, like, I used to like, I had a career. I had the same job I worked for the same company for 16 years, for the same job for 13 years. And I just had my shit together. And I don't know, just like, I don't know, I don't have my shit together anymore. And yeah, after I was diagnosed, with HIV, I was still working on the psych unit then. But I was really struggling. I went into the psych hospital myself, and I came back out, and like in some ways it helped me relate with the patients even more. I think I was always pretty empathetic, but I was able to share a little bit. I was open with the fact that I had been in the hospital, and if somebody came in, it was their first time in the hospital, and they were ashamed or embarrassed about it or something like that. I think it was really helpful for me to say, I've been in the psych hospital myself, and it's like nothing to be ashamed of. It's okay to get help when you need it, and I think that that was helpful to people. But it got more and more difficult for me because people would be like, I'm so depressed, I want to kill myself, and like inside I'd be like, I know, let's go, things are terrible, let's go do it right now. But you can't say that when you're working as a nurse, and so I just have to swallow it down all the time, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And then and then not just that, but also coworkers, created a hostile environment for me, just talking smack behind my back, saying shit like, how could he do that to his family, and what else, just speculating about how I contracted it. He's probably shooting up or whatever, anyway, and family, they just either were really unhelpful. I don't know, they all just felt like they turned their back on me too, and just felt like I just felt like everybody turned their back on me. And I don't know, I think eventually got to the point where I just friends too, and just felt like I didn't want to see anyone ever again. And I still feel that way. I hide behind this glass wall. I don't have to look at anybody's face. I don't have to see their shock, their pity, their fear, their disgust. I don't have to see any of that, right? I just, I just see this dead camera lens. But when I do venture out, just went to the psych hospital a couple of weeks ago, there's, somebody was talking about the last time they were in the hospital, they had a roommate with AIDS and they didn't want to use the shower, it's just everywhere I go, I can't escape it. And I just really just get sick of it. I get sick of being around people, and it's, I'm mad, because enough people confirm my worst fears that in my head it feels like everyone thinks like that, everyone yeah. I wish I believed that was true, Kate. I wish that but when rubber meets the road, I think a lot of people would be fearful of contracting HIV from me. If we were going to have sex or something like that, I think a lot of the people here would be afraid to. And I understand the fear, but it still hurts. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Cheyenne. Yeah, and so I just like, yeah, I withdrew from everything, and then now I'm just like, I've just not been taking care of myself. I'm not looking for anybody, Michelle. I'm not looking for a person. I'm married for one. But no, like it's not about finding someone, I don't think. It's just about, I don't know what it's about. I don't know what, I do feel lonely a lot at the time. I feel really lonely. But I feel really lonely in my marriage though too. I was saying earlier, like my therapist thinks that, what did she say exactly? She said, when we were talking about residential therapy, like, she's like, have you go away and get some help for a month and think about your relationship. Because I don't know, I want to make a family for my boys. Like, I want to make things work. I don't know. It's really hard though. Just like, there's a lot of abuse in this relationship. It's not like it used to be, but still there's just a lot of conflict. Thank you, Katie. You've really been there for me a lot, Katie. I can't thank you enough. That's a good question, Ronnie. No, I want them to be happier than I am. I don't know. I think my therapist is just worried that that we're not healthy for each other right now. I think. I don't know, but like, life is really hard, Ronnie. I don't know, like, I don't know what it would look like. How I can't take care of myself right now, right? And Laura can't take care of the kids without me either. Like, we're really dependent on one another. Like I said, like, I wish I could make things work. I wish I had like a magic wand that like fixed everything. Love you too, Stillwell. Thanks, Astasia. Thank you, Katie. Well, I get a lot here. like, Shine, it doesn't feel like healing is it really doesn't feel like healing is possible. I don't know, like, I've been doing, like, the hospital stay, like, I did a week or two ago. I was, like, ripped, like, a scab off this wound, right, I didn't realize, I don't think I realized how much pain I was in, or, like, I just tell myself, like, things that happened to me don't affect me. I'm not, like, they weren't that bad, and whatever, minimize it, and, but really, like, it's pretty significant trauma, and I just, I, like, was numb to it, I think, and now it just, like, I can't stop feeling it, right? I just, like, and I've been going to the therapist, like, once a week since I got out of the hospital. I've seen her twice, and, both times, like, I cried the whole way there to the therapist, cried through the whole appointment, cried all the way home, and, and, I just, like, all these, like, sobbing and feeling all these feelings, like, I don't know, I just, like, it feels like I'm just, like, wasting my time. Like, what the fuck am I doing this for? I don't know, because it just feels like nothing's changing, and it's not going to go away. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm trying. I think it's about time for me to go in, though. Like, when I was in the hospital, like, just, we learned some skills about anxiety, like, breathing, like, so I got respiratory control. Like, breathe in for 3 seconds, hold it for 3 seconds, breathe out for 3 seconds. And progressive muscle relaxation, like tightening up all the different parts of the muscles and then relaxing them, each muscle group. And then also one cool one that I didn't know was TIP. It was like one of, like, the T stands for temperature. Like, if you take an ice pack, a really cold wet washcloth, and put it on your nose when you're sitting down like this, and then put your head between your legs with the cold washcloth over your head, like, it stimulates the mammalian dive reflex, and it changes your breathing and your heart rate right away. And so, like, if you're feeling, so, like, if you're feeling like you're really emotional or something, you're really high anxiety, that can, like kind of just, like, if you're, like, I don't know, because when I'm really crying, I start to hyperventilate, and and or I hold my breath, and I just, like, just something to, like, snap you out of that moment. Also, like, the like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for mindfulness, like pick 5 things that you can see, and not just that, don't be like chair, bucket, camera, like I see a phone on a stand with the phone has a red case on it, and there's a live broadcast on the phone with a handsome man, and then I see a chair that's painted white with a wooden seat, and like, fully describe, and then pick 5 things, like, that you see around you, and then 4 things that you hear, and in your mind, just describe what you're hearing. Don't just, like, and then 3 things that you can 4 things you hear, 3 things that you can feel. I don't know, it's 4 things you can feel. I don't know, 2 things you can hear or smell, taste, whatever, all of them. The sauna edition, that's right, Lee. Yeah, mindfulness can be really helpful. just like, like it doesn't take any of the crap away, but like if you like get stuck focusing on it, it can get your mind off of it, at least for a minute. All right, I think I'm gonna yeah, the counting thing, that's another one they brought up too. Different forms of counting. Like that, yeah, that's good. Opposite action they taught in the hospital too, so like if you're feeling really sad, and like this is something I tend to do. Like if I'm feeling sad, I listen to sad music, and you just kind of get it. Like I just like to wallow in my misery, but like opposite action is like if you're feeling sad, listen to a happy song. Do something that's the opposite of what you're feeling. I gotta go though. I'm not feeling very good in here anymore. A little nauseous in the hospital. I'm glad you were able to get past that time. Is it Amber? Was it? Yeah. And thank everyone who shared personal stories tonight and participated. I enjoyed this conversation. It was nice meeting some of you, and it was lovely talking with the people that have been here with me for a while. So, old friends I knew, welcome and thank you. All right, so we're gonna do a bridge premise, I think, not the full premise. All right, so you might be wondering what the show is about. People often wonder what the show is about. The premise is deceptively simple. I take my HIV medication live on the Book of Face each day in front of friends, family, and strangers. I do so in order to embrace stigma, dispel ignorance, and find support. After 1,008 pills, 1,008 shows, a number of bells, whistles, and bows have risen up and around and about the show. The bells, bows, and other people, the people that come back night after night and give me the most valuable resource, their time. To me, that's the most significant thing that's risen up and around and about the show, the community. Therein lies the support that I was looking for. If I'd have people take only one thing away from this show, it would be the knowledge that HIV is preventable. If you're HIV negative, there's a once-a-day pill you can take. They call it PrEP, or pre-exposure prophylaxis. The pill is Truvada, and if you're HIV negative, you take it once a day, and it works like a highly effective chemical condom. It prevents HIV. But if you're already HIV positive like me, treatment is prevention. By taking my medication every day and maintaining an undetectable viral load, it makes it so I'm not contagious. You equals you. Undetectable equals untransmissible. You could fuck me bareback all day long, and all night long too, and all day the next day, and never catch HIV from me. It's a brave new world. The future is now, and it's 1969. Free love. Woo! All right, pill number 1008. Dang it to heck. Pill number 1008. Down the hatch. We are robot. And it's down. 1008. Holy mackerel, right? It's hard to believe. We are in the sauna. I'm in a sauna here in Ely, Minnesota, at the Blue Heron Lodge. The Blue Heron Bed and Breakfast. I don't know what it's called. All right, I love you all. Come back tomorrow. I'll have more ideas for you. You'll have things you'll want to talk about. And so will I. But alas, now it's time to say goodbye. I love you. Mwah!